This video is way late and out of date, but I gotta do this. I'm gonna try and keep this short because there's really not much for me to say. But it's time for me to react to the final 10 of the top 100 of 2014. Let's do this. Number 10 is Jimmy Graham. Remember that game last year against the Patriots where he had 0 touchdown catches with 0 yards, 0 catches? Remember that game? That was a huge game. Let's be real here though. Graham at number 10, that is a joke. That is a huge fucking joke. Not saying listen, given the circumstances, Gronk got injured, Vernon Davis dealing with an inconsistent, overrated quarterback. The players kind of had no choice. Let's call it what it is. And now the media is going to overhype. They've already started it. You know, Jimmy Graham, new contract for him. Congrats to him. But the reason why he's getting the big numbers is because of Drew Brees. Last I checked, Drew Brees is still playing quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Get the fuck out. Unless some breaking news happened where Drew Brees suffered a career-threatening injury, getting run over by a car or something like that. I will always say that Jimmy Graham is overrated. You thought Robert Griffin III's spot on last year's countdown was asinine. Holy fucking shit. Number 9 is AJ Green of the Cincinnati Bengals. Another monster year for him. Do I expect him to fall off the map a little bit numbers-wise? Yeah, because teams are going to be double teaming him more, sometimes even triple team, or even quadruple team. Green's just going to have to be ready for that. I'm not saying, so yeah, number 9 is about right for him. Number 8 is Jamaal Charles, overrated, should be out of the countdown. No, I'm kidding, not out of the countdown, at least out of the top 10. Top 15, absolutely. Top 10, no. And I like Jamaal Charles. I like Jamaal Charles. He's got the speed, he's got the acceleration, and he's got the toughness, which is something that a guy like Chris Johnson with the same running skills does not have. All right, I mean, let's get out of here. Why did I mention Chris Johnson? Because some fucking asshole was giving me shit about how I didn't explain it enough of Chris Johnson. I mean, fuck off. Okay, Chris Johnson is not tough, so fuck you. Anyway, number 7 is Richard Sherman, top defensive player of the countdown. And you all knew that you all should have known that this was happening as well. I'm not gonna go all day on Richard Sherman. He should be fucking higher, but a lot of people think that he should be lower, like, oh, not top 10 or top 15. You know, they think he should be top 70. And from what I'm understanding, a lot of bullshit, douchebaggery hate. And just stupid hate in general. People just don't like Richard Sherman for that rant last year against the Niners. But guess what? Like it or not, he made the big play at the end of the game. At the end of that NFC Championship game to get the Niners to the Super Bowl. And Niners, Seahawks to the Super Bowl. And win it. Of course, we all know where the Niners went. They went bye-bye and all the way back fucking home to where Colin Kaepernick, or Capper Choke, as a lot of people are calling him these days. And that was my biggest concern about Kaepernick. Is he the next choke artist? You know? And this is Richard Sherman's 4th season. The sky's the limit for him. He's going to be a great player for years to come. Brees comes in at number 6, underrated. Should definitely be top 5. If only at 5. You know, there's a big difference between just being in the top 10 and being in the top 5. And Drew Brees is a top 5 player. 3 straight seasons with 5,000 yards each year, anyway. You know, he was the first quarterback to pull off back-to-back 5,000-yard seasons, and he does it for a 3rd time. You know, gotta give Drew Brees some love there, and again, it's the reason why Jimmy Graham has the numbers that he has. And at least the players understood that, at least. Unbelievable. And plus, Drew Brees is something that Peyton Manning is not. A quarterback who is not afraid of competition. Get the fuck out. Number 5 is LeSean McCoy. Overrated. Top 10, yes. Top 5, no. Again, he had just like Jamal Charles, both these running backs had some pretty easy defenses to run through. I mean, get out of here with that. That doesn't mean Jamal Charles sucks. Doesn't mean that LeSean McCoy sucks. In fact, both of these guys are proven to be great running backs. But no. They should both those running backs should at most be behind Marshawn Lynch. All right, get the fuck out. But hey, no list is perfect, but whatever. I'll let that slide. Speaking of Adrian Peterson, number 4, and once again reaching the top running back spot in this year's countdown, just like he did last year's countdown, where he became the number 1 player. And this year, number 4, not that big a drop off. You know, remains in the top 5. Just simple as that. Let's see what, you know, and had Adrian Peterson not gotten injured and knocked out of a few games, had to miss a few games as well, Peterson would lead the NFL in rushing again. So all of you people who are bitching and complaining about how Forte's low and yet he has all those yards and shit like that, you know, who fucking cares? Peterson would have, whatever. I don't have time for that shit. All right, number 3. But the Adrian Peterson haters, stop fucking crying. Number 3 is Tom Brady. Should be lower as well. Not that low. Should be top 10 still. But the thing is, he did have an off season. But the thing is, people think he should be out of the countdown altogether because of last year. Well, no, I'm sorry, but he shouldn't. In fact, I'm glad he's number 3 in some ways because that will give the Brady haters something to cry and bitch about. And hey, you already put in your insults during that 2013 season where you were when you decided to rip Tom Brady every chance you got, every time Brady had a shit fucking game in 2013. You know, it's like, what the fuck? So it's kind of justice that Brady gets the number 3 spot. But I agree, he should be top 10. He should be lower, but not out of the top 10. So, and definitely not out of the countdown. Get the fuck out. So to all the Brady haters who are crying about this, too fucking bad. Get over yourselves. All right, number 2 is Calvin Johnson. And a lot of crybabies about this as well. People, you knew that Brent Johnson was going to be the top receiver in this year's countdown again, just like he was last year. And guess what? Like it or not, he's been playing at a high level for the past 3 years now. You know? My concern is the new head coach. But at the same time, Caldwell, who was offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens in 2012, the year the Ravens won the Super Bowl, he made some gutsy fucking calls during the entire postseason. Let's see how he does as a head coach again. We'll wait and see about how he does as a head coach. But Johnson should be just fine. So, yeah. People are just going to nitpick about certain shit. Whatever. But I do remember one game where he caught a touchdown pass in like a quadruple coverage. And this was against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. A still pretty good defense. This wasn't like against Dallas, although I'll get to the Dallas game in a minute. I'll get to it now, yeah. Where he was like what 7 yards short of breaking the record, or at least tying it, or whatever, for receiving yards in a single season, for a single game. You know, holy shit, 329 yards receiving or something like that. You know? Granted, the Cowboys defense did suck last year, but still, that shouldn't excuse the fact that he's still on the countdown. I mean, whatever. Should be number 2. Should be number 1. I was hoping that Calvin Johnson would be number 1. Either him or Richard Sherman, but we all know who number 1 is, and we all knew who number 1 was going to be, Peyton Manning. And yes, I get it, Peyton Manning. The players kind of had to. You know, you can't ignore what he did. You can't. I'm sorry. Is he still overrated? You damn fucking right he is. But last year against a real football team like the Seattle Seahawks, played like shit, you know? I'm just saying. You know, that's the problem. That's the only reason why he got the numbers that he did. Weak schedule, a lot of talent around him, albeit some of it overrated, some of it not. You know, but still. You know, he had a pretty easy schedule, playing some easy defenses and some bad fucking football teams. You know, that's just simple as that. So yeah, overrated as fuck. Although I'm a Bronco fan, I'm happy that he has the number 1 quarterback position for the second consecutive year. You know, but as a football fan and a realist, as a guy who at least tries to be realistic, most of it is just being a pessimistic Bronco fan. Hey, can you blame me for being a pessimistic Bronco fan? Look what happened in last year's Super Bowl, 43-8. You know, fuck. Get the fuck out. I try to be optimistic, but whatever. But in any event. So yeah, Peyton Manning overrated as a number 1, but I understand why they had to put him at number 1, even though he's still overrated. But that is it. That's all for my reaction to the top 100 of 2014. Hopefully, I don't fuck up this time. Thank you all. Thank you very much for watching this. Watching all 10 of these videos. And thank you for your subscriptions. I hit 100 subscribers a couple weeks ago. Thank you very much for that. I hope to keep making videos for at least a couple more years. You know, at least a couple more years, because let's be honest here, I can't do this shit forever. No one can do this shit forever. You know. At some point, though, but hey, I'm happy. I'm still happy to be making videos. Still like doing it, even though it's less and less and less. Got shit to do sometimes, but But yes, thank you for your likes, thank you for your subscriptions, and thank you for watching. Till next time, later, fuckers.